Hi and welcome to this short video of how to do question 2 in the past exam paper. I've had a question from Casey about this, so I thought I'd record a video quickly to show you the steps involved in question number 2 of that paper. If you're having a look at this video, I'd encourage you to have a look, have the exam paper open at question 2 so that you can see the information that I'm referencing. Now the first thing to do is record the different types of capital that you've got available in the information, and as you can see there's 4 different types here, and I'm going to use these 3 columns to calculate the total or the weighted average cost of capital. First of all, my bank overdraft is $500,000, and I start with that because that's the easiest one really. I then know that it's a 10% nominal interest rate on that bank overdraft that is calculated, the interest is calculated monthly. So I'm just first going to calculate the effective rate, and I'm going to use the Excel functions here, but you can use the functions on your calculator. There should be a function on the financial calculator to calculate the effective rate from a nominal rate. So there's 12 periods in a year. It gives me 10.47. I also know this is a tax deductible expense, so interest on a bank overdraft. So I'm going to multiply that by 1 minus the tax rate, which is 0.7, because the tax rate is 30 cents in a dollar. So I've already got my bank overdraft, market value and cost. Now my debentures. I know from that additional information that debentures are currently selling at $93.50. So $93.50 times the number of debentures, and I know that I have 10,000 of those, so I have $935,000 worth of debentures. Now the cost of that is going to be a bit tricky. I'm going to have to work out the yield to maturity of these debentures. So I'll use the Excel function, which is rate, and it's very similar to the TVM function on your calculator. So there's 4 years to maturity on these particular debentures. The payment is, they're 12% debentures, so it's a $12 payment. The present value is 93.5, and the future value is 100. I don't have to use any of these other parameters in Excel because they're in square brackets. 14.24. Now I also know that debentures are tax deductible, so I'm going to multiply them by 1 minus the tax rate of 30 cents in a dollar, and that gives me my cost of debenture capital. Preference shares, I have $40,000 of these, 40,000 of these on issue at $10 issue value, and they're currently trading at $9.50 each. So I'm just going to type that in as well, $9.50, because I'm always using the market value for weighted average cost of capital. Now in this case I'm using thousands of dollars, so I've got $380,000 worth of debentures. Cost of that capital is merely the $1.40 dividend, because it's a 14% preference share. You can also calculate this looking at the dividends paid section of the balance sheet. So I've got $1.40 divided by 950, and that will give me the costs of preference shares. So I've already got 3 of them, so now the final one is ordinary shares. Now I have 2 million of these on issue, and they're currently trading at $1.20. So it's an easy calculation to work out the market value of my ordinary shares. It's $2.4 million. The cost of ordinary shares, I've actually done some algebra here to demonstrate how to calculate the cost of ordinary shares, because you can't use the time value of money buttons on your calculator, but it does require a bit of algebra using this basic function here to work out the price of a share. Now you know the price of a share is $1.20, and you know the growth rate is 0.05, but you don't know the required rate of return on those shares. So you need to go through this process by following these equations to get to the R value of 15.5. if you don't follow that algebra there, then it's the basic function algebraic manipulations that you may need to use in the exam. So have a quick review of how you can get from this formula and manipulating that function, that equation, to 15.5%. So I've now got all of my costs of capital. I can quickly use a function in Excel to calculate the weighting. That's my total value of capital. Now if I then divide each value of capital of each individual capital by the total weighting, should be able to sum that up to 1, and it does. I'm just going to reduce this so that I can only see 2 decimal places. The full decimals are still available in the background for my calculations. So then I've got the weighting, the cost. Now I need the weighted cost. And here I just multiply the cost by the weighting. Actually, I really should have called this rate. Now I have percentages here that I can now use to sum and give me the weighted average cost of capital at 13.24%. Thanks for watching.